Once upon a time, in a quiet town that looked peaceful from the outside, but carried secrets under its skin, there lived a woman named Elena Hayes. She was 32, a schoolteacher with a warm smile that made children trust her instantly. Yet behind that smile lived shadows of doubt she never spoke about. To her neighbors, she was kind and dependable. To her students, she was patient. But to herself, Elena often felt like a stranger, someone waiting for something she couldn't name. It began on an ordinary evening, the kind that should have slipped into memory without leaving a mark. Elena had just finished grading papers and was folding laundry when she heard it. A faint knock on her apartment door. Not the kind of knock you hear when a neighbor stops by. This was softer, like the sound of fingertips brushing wood. She froze. For a moment, she thought maybe she imagined it, but then there it was again. Tap, tap, tap. Her chest tightened. She wasn't expecting anyone, and most of her friends knew she disliked unannounced visits. Slowly, she stepped toward the door. "Who's there?" Her voice came out steadier than she felt. No answer. The silence pressed down on her. She swallowed, her hand hovering above the doorknob. Then, curiosity always, her flaw pushed her to turn it. The hallway outside was empty. No footsteps, no retreating figure. Just the low hum of the building's old fluorescent light. She exhaled a shaky laugh. Maybe kids playing a prank. Maybe nothing at all. But as she shut the door, her eyes fell on something lying at her feet. A folded piece of paper, yellowed around the edges, as if it had been waiting for years before finding its way here. Elena bent down, picked it up, and unfolded it. Her breath caught. In neat handwriting that wasn't hers, the note read, "Do not trust what you see in the mirror tonight." Her heart pounded so loudly she thought it might break through her ribs. She reread the words again and again, hoping they'd somehow change. But they didn't. The paper trembled in her hands, though her apartment was still and warm. What would you do if you found a warning like this at your door, left by someone you didn't know, with no explanation? Would you throw it away? Call a friend? Or would curiosity drag you deeper, the way it was about to drag Elena? Stay with me. The story is only beginning. Elena placed the note on her kitchen counter, staring at it as if it might vanish if she blinked. She told herself it was nonsense. Maybe some teenager from the building across the street thought it would be funny. But then her reflection caught her eye in the kitchen window, dark outside, her own face dimly visible in the glass. Something about it made her uneasy. She pulled the curtain closed, trying to dismiss the chill that ran through her spine. "Get a grip, Elena," she muttered. But even as she tried to distract herself washing dishes, checking her phone, her eyes kept straying toward the bathroom at the end of the hall. The mirror inside seemed to call her. Finally, she gave in. Slowly, she walked toward it, her bare feet whispering against the wooden floor. She flicked on the bathroom light and looked at herself. Nothing strange, just her face tired, a little pale, but hers. She almost laughed in relief. But then, her reflection blinked. Elena's breath hitched. She hadn't blinked. She was sure of it. She leaned closer, eyes wide. For a heartbeat, her reflection seemed off, a fraction too slow, as if it were lagging behind her movements. She backed away, her pulse racing. "No," she whispered, shaking her head. "This isn't real. You're tired. You're imagining things." She shut the bathroom door firmly and pressed her back against it, her palms damp. The apartment felt heavier now, every corner shadowed with unease. She picked up the note again, studying the handwriting. Something about it was almost familiar, but she couldn't place it. She thought about calling her sister. But what would she say? "Hey, I think my reflection blinked on its own." She'd sound crazy. Instead, she locked all her windows, double-checked the door, and crawled into bed. The note lay on the nightstand beside her, its words glowing in the dim light like a dare. Sleep came in fragments. Broken by dreams, she couldn't fully remember dreams of faces half hidden in glass, whispering her name. When she woke, it was 3:14 a.m. The room was quiet, but something pulled her gaze toward the mirror across from her bed. She hadn't noticed it before, how the moonlight hit it just right, illuminating her reflection even in the dark. Her heart thudded. She could see herself, but she wasn't moving. Her reflection was. Slowly, deliberately, it raised a hand and pressed its palm flat against the glass. Elena's scream caught in her throat. She couldn't move, couldn't breathe. The reflection's lips curved into a faint smile, one she would never wear. And then it whispered. She didn't hear it with her ears, but inside her head, like a voice sliding across her thoughts. "I've been waiting for you. Once upon a time, in a quiet town that looked peaceful from the outside, but carried secrets under its skin, there lived a woman named Elena Hayes. She was 32, a schoolteacher, with a warm smile and a penchant for daydreaming. One day, Elena came home to find a folded paper outside her door. The note read, "Do not trust what you see in the mirror tonight." At first, she dismissed it as a prank, but then, while washing her hands in the bathroom, she noticed her reflection blinking at her. It was the only light in the room. She couldn't see her face clearly, but she could feel her breath on her neck. As the days passed, Elena became increasingly paranoid. She locked her doors and windows, but she still couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching her. Then one night, she woke up at 3:14 a.m. Her reflection was moving on its own. It raised a hand and slowly, terrifyingly, it began to walk towards her. Elena screamed, "Who are you?" And then the reflection spoke. It whispered inside her head, "I've been waiting for you. Once upon a time, in a quiet town that looked peaceful from the outside but carried secrets under its skin, there lived a woman named Elena Hayes. She was 32, a schoolteacher with a warm smile and a heart full of kindness. But lately, shadows had been falling across her life, and she couldn't shake this feeling that something was terribly wrong. It started with a note. She found a piece of paper folded up outside her door one morning, and when she opened it, the only thing written on it was, "Do not trust what you see in the mirror tonight." And then that night, while brushing her teeth in the bathroom, she saw the face staring back at her blink. It blinked again, and then she realized it wasn't her blinking. It was her reflection. She tried to lock it out of her mind, but the note and the reflection grew to consume her thoughts. So much so that she spent the night before convinced that something or someone was watching her. She locked all her doors and windows, but still she couldn't sleep. And then at 3:14 a.m., she woke up to see her reflection moving on its own. It raised a hand and slowly, terrifyingly, it began to move closer to the glass. Then, right before her eyes, it pressed its face against the mirror and whispered, "I've been waiting for you." And that's the end of the story. Push the video and write your answer in the comments section below. Please like, share, and click the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.